All right, it's 8:30. This feels so weird. Does this feel weird to anybody else? I don't have a mask. You're all here. It's the first day of school. This feels bizarre, like in a good way, but bizarre, right? I'm sure it'll get normal eventually, but I was thinking about this morning on my way here. This is the first regular first day of school in 2.5 years. It was since January of 2020, and it feels that way. So I don't know if anyone else is feeling that way. I definitely feel that way today. So we'll get through it together. One way or another, we'll be done in an hour and 15 minutes, right? But hopefully everyone's in the right spot. Human sexuality. We're starting the semester off with sex. Way to go, right? I don't know, 8:30 in the morning, right? First class of the semester. But my name's Elisa Setmire. We'll do all the kind of usual stuff today. I'm glad there's so many of you. It feels strange to say that 25 is a lot. But after last semester having classes with 12, 25 of you seems like a lot. So I'm glad to have so many of you. This class is so much more fun in person than it is online. I can make you do so many more awkward things in person, right? You're like, uh-oh, somebody grumble. But I love this class. I think it's a lot of fun. I learned so much from all of you, and I hope, obviously you learn a lot from me as well. But things that we'll do today, if this cooperates, that was working. This has already been a better start. Last semester went from distance education, everything, to coming in here and nothing worked, and chalkboards. So I think we've gone backwards. But what we'll do today, I'll introduce myself. We'll go over the syllabus. We'll do a little kind of getting to know each other, icebreaker kind of thing. Talk a little bit about some kind of other things like the textbook, the website, all that kind of stuff. I'll take attendance and we'll call it a day. So kind of the usual first day stuff. And just to ease into it, I always start with myself. It seems egotistical, but I don't mean it that way. Just more to tell you a little bit about the person standing in front of you. And I haven't done this in so long. Again, I'm sorry, I'll stop saying that, but it just feels so strange. I went to a community college as well, right? So I started at Miracosta College down in San Diego. I'm from San Diego area. Spent a couple of years there, and then one day I saw a flyer for Humboldt State. Went all the way up to Northern California. I promise, well, and you can believe me or not, I knew nothing about its reputation for greenery. I saw pictures of the trees and thought it looked pretty. And I learned about their other reputations later. But Humboldt State, I went there for a long time. I have a master's in counseling psychology. So I was actually trained as a therapist. I did 1,500 hours as a therapist trainee before switching to teaching. So I have a kind of a strong background in that. I have a minor in women's studies, gender studies, and queer studies. So great for this class. Went there for quite a bit of time. I go back every summer to visit the food and the trees from up there. I love food, more on that later. Places I've been, I've taught up at College of the Redwoods. Come on in. Taught at College of the Redwoods and Humboldt State for a little bit. And then I did something strange. I moved to Colorado for a year and regretted it and came right back to California. It's like the one that doesn't match the others, right? I lived in Colorado, taught in beautiful southern conservative Colorado, where I fit in very well. But taught there for a year. It was fantastic. But I've been here at Moore Park ever since, and I'm very grateful. I've been here for 13 years, full-time, tenured. I have an office downstairs, so it's very easy to find me. A little bit more about me. This one's way more fun than the other slides. This is like me in a slide, right? I love to camp. Absolutely love camping, especially because of s'mores. That's the best part. I wrote it down. 28 s'mores this summer. It's average, right? I could do better. I have done better, but I love to camp. I love s'mores. I'm a huge football fan. I cried last year because my guy retired. I'm a big Tom Brady fan. He retired and he came back. I get him for one more year, so I'll take it. Huge football fan. I play in 4 fantasy football leagues. I've dragged a bunch of my colleagues from the school in. I take their money every year. Very proud of myself with that. You can see the trophy in my office if you ever want to come visit it. I was going to bring it today, but that felt a little obnoxious, just a little. But I kind of regret it at this point. But I'm a big Dodger fan as well. I love escape rooms. That's like my life right there. I did my 96th escape room this weekend. Went to the basement and I died. I didn't survive. It was like one of 3 rooms that I failed my entire career of escape rooms. But yeah, I was terrified. Those rooms are scary. I don't know if anyone's done them before, but I walked in and there was a guy in the room with me and I wanted to run out and I was locked in. It was embarrassing. But I've done 96 escape rooms. They're my favorite thing to do on the planet. Anyone else like escape rooms? Yeah? How many have you done? 3. No, well, there's room for growth, right?
Do you do them by yourself?
No, my partner and I love to do them together. And then we have a team of like 4 of us that have done maybe like 30 of them together. We're pretty big. Solid, right? There are a couple other people. Yeah, have you done a bunch?
I'm like a,
Okay.
only got a one dog, so my friends are stupid.
If you don't have good people in there with you, that makes it tough, right? I've had 1 or 2 that were awful. We had one that it's like we were with strangers and they took all the papers and like went in another room. It was awful. We call that room papers. But I love escape rooms. I play the guitar, not well, but I play it, so I put it up there. I love cruises. You can barely see the little cruise ship, right? But I'm obsessed with cruises because of the food. Again, food is like my life. We went on 2 cruises this year, and I gained like 5 pounds on each one. Very respectable number, I think. I love movies. I try and bring a lot of movie examples into this class. There's so many great examples from films related to this. I love scary movies, which is a perfect time of year. I love Halloween. I'll admit something embarrassing. We've already decorated for Halloween at our house. It was actually like 2 weeks ago. It was July. And that's okay, right? You're smiling. I got to start eating my candy now. So I'm ready when we get to October. But I love Halloween. I'm obsessed with the holidays and scary movies. A couple of shows. I love Naked and Afraid. So messed up. I love to watch the show eating and snacking while they're like cold and hungry. Like, but I love Naked and Afraid and Top Chef and anything on Food Network. Finally caught up on The Walking Dead as of last night. And then some other shows that are up there too. So yeah, I love to read. I love the fall. I love food. I had to put a piece of cake up here. My children told me that cake had to be on the slide, so I added it. Come on. And coffee. Cake and coffee, the 2 C's in life, right? So that's just me, a little bit about the person standing in front of you. It's also my only chance to show off my children. And since you have no choice but to look at them, I'm going to show them to you. I'm a proud parent of 8. 8 kids. It's a lot of children, right? It's a miracle I still have hair, but here's a bunch of them. Slightly tricky, right? So I have 1 dog. Her name is Oso because she was a fluffy, fat little bear when she was little, and now she is much larger. She doesn't look like a bear anymore. And then 4 cats. My favorite and the fattest up in the corner is Rolly from 101 Dalmatians because he's always hungry. He always wants food. This is Binks. We got him just before Halloween, so like Hocus Pocus, Binks. Whiskey in the middle and Squash on the right. Our kids were going to name Squash Water Bottle. I won the she's Squash, not water bottle. So I think we did good. But these are 5 of my children, and I do have 3 2-legged children as well. This is my oldest, Kaya. Started 5th grade last week. I don't even know where the time went. I was updating my slides from 2 years ago, and she was so small. Like, now she's so big. 5th grade, this is Kaya. Emma, I forgot her name for a minute. Emma, no, I didn't, not really. I have twins who are 8, and this is the older one by 60 seconds, which matters a lot. So this is Emma, and then her younger sister, Paisley, with her bread. She's like, I want a picture with bread. They're old enough to choose now. She's like, you got to make sure to put 1 of ice cream and 1 of bread. She's so my child right there. So I respect that. But those are my kids. They don't come up a lot in here. Maybe when we get to the unit on pregnancy, I often share a little bit about how we had them because it was a very unique journey. But otherwise, it's just my 1 chance. I'll leave her up while I talk about other things. But that's a little bit about me. Let's talk about the class a little bit more. I have a copy of the syllabus. Should I move for Ed? And if you lose it for any reason, these are on Canvas. Kaya told me that I should tell you my favorite color is brown. She thought you needed to know that. I'm just probably on there. My kids tell me I'm stuck in the 70s with my color tree. Everybody have one? Okay. So I'm not going to go over everything that's on here, but I do want to obviously make sure that you know what to expect and what your grade will be coming from and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to talk more today in like one kind of long spree than I ever will again this whole semester. So I'm sorry for that. It's always so hard to come back to that. But if you have any questions at any point, please feel free to ask. So it has the name of the class, my name. So my name is Elisa Setmire. You can call me Elisa if you want to brave my first name. Most people just call me Setmire or Professor Setmire. Dr. Setmire is a lie, but I'll smile at you if you say it. Like I don't have a doctorate, but most people just call me Setmire or Professor Setmire. But you're welcome to call me Elisa if you would like to. My office is literally right underneath us. It's the one that has football and a Halloween pumpkin already up in the window. My kids put Halloween clings on the window too, so kind of easy to find me, I think. But I'm down there. I put my office hours on there. I'm here a lot more than that. So if you ever need to make an appointment, I'm here a lot. Feel free to do that. Always better to get a hold of me by email. I do have a phone, but I'm not great at responding to it or picking it up. I ignore it often, just to be honest. But if you email me, I do check my email constantly and I will get back to you very quickly. So email is always the best way to go. There's some information about the department chair, the dean, the division office, which is downstairs as well. So you have all that if you need it. And then I'm not going to go over all this stuff, but at some point, look over the description and the objectives. A lot of fun topics in this class. So there's a lot of things that we'll cover, some things that you should be able to kind of walk away knowing. Let's talk about the textbook for a moment here. Say goodbye to Paisley there for a second. Paisley had a rough night last night. She threw up at 3 a.m, right? I should say I had a rough night because it made it rough for me. But here is some information about the book. Okay, come on in. Let me give you one of these before you get too far. So I would really recommend that you get the book. I put it as required, but you do have some options. So this is the book that I'm using. It's either blue or black, but they're the same. It's the 6th edition. If you want to save a little bit of money, the 5th edition is fine. And it's really cheap. I looked on, forget where, I think it was on eBay or Amazon. I can't remember which one, but I saw it for $4. So if you can't afford the newest one, feel free to get the older one. That's totally fine. Not a lot has changed. The pages might not match up, but otherwise it's very similar. Has anyone purchased or rented the book from anywhere? Yeah, from here, where did you? Okay. Do you remember what it cost you? Textbooks are shameful in terms of cost, but, and if not, that's okay. 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 Anybody else have a copy of the book? You can rent. Yeah. Do you remember how much you paid for it or where? Or? Okay. From the bookstore? Yeah. Okay. So look online, look at the bookstore. You can rent it, you can buy it, you can share one. There's one on reserve in the library, but you will be needing to read the book. There's going to be some chapters where maybe I don't cover them completely. We watch a video or we do more activities, or I assign it to you kind of as like a flipped class. So make sure that you have a copy of the book. Ideally, if you can afford to get the one I'm using, everything will match up nicely. But if you need to save some money, the 5th edition is definitely very, very cheap. You can find it used online pretty easy. Yeah. Yes. So it's right here at the bottom of that first page. Sexuality Now, Embracing Diversity. And again, I'm using the 6th edition, but you're welcome to get the older one. I wouldn't go older than the 5th, but the 5th one is really, really inexpensive online. So try and get the book if you can. We will start the first chapter on Wednesday. So in a beautiful ideal world, you have read chapter 1, or at least looked it over, but try and get the book so you can keep up and be reading along as we go. You might want to download the Canvas app. I have a couple of app suggestions actually for you. Let me put this up for you. We'll use Canvas quite a bit in here. So all of your grades will be on Canvas, materials will be posted there. If you haven't downloaded it, it's probably a good idea to do that. You can access it very easily. We'll also use an app, Kahoot, which is kind of fun. It has a bunch of I like the music, right? The cheesy music. But we'll use Kahoot. We'll probably actually do that next class as a little review. So the 2 apps that you might want to download, you don't have to. The internet in this building is awful, but you're welcome to go ahead and download them as I'm talking if you would like to. Other than that, you probably need internet, you might need a computer, something to take notes with. I totally don't mind if you want to bring a tablet, computer, your phone, whatever to take notes with, that's fine. All I ask is if you sit toward the front and there are people behind you that you're on task. I have no ability to not look at fantasy football stats if I'm on my computer. So if that's you, just sit toward the back so you're not distracting the people who are behind you. Okay, it happens, right? We all have to mentally check out for a moment, just come back as much as you can. But download those apps, get the textbook, and that's all that you really need in terms of materials. Any other questions for now? Otherwise, we'll go to the next page. So in terms, I have some policies here with like late work and exams and so on. Obviously, things are, we'll say they're getting a little bit more predictable and better. But the world is still very unknown, right? So emergencies happen, life happens. So I have some flexibility, but I am a little bit, I want to say I'm a little bit strict when it comes to like things being on time. Right? That's something that is important to me. There will be deadlines for exams, deadlines for assignments. As long as you reach out to me before the deadline, I will work with you to the end of the earth. I don't mind at all. If something comes up and you reach out to me before it's due, I'm very, very flexible. If you reach out to me after it's due, not so much. Okay, so just make sure if we have an exam and something has come up for you that you email me ahead of time and let me know that you need other accommodations. Or if you miss a class, make sure you're in communication with me. Otherwise, if you miss a deadline, you're going to be kind of a little bit out of luck. So if you're sick or if something comes up, please make sure that you are reaching out to me. In the spirit of sickness, right, I eliminated a lot of my COVID slides, like how to wear a mask and all that stuff, which felt good to delete them, right? And if you want to wear a mask, obviously that's completely fine. I still wear them to some places and not to others. It makes no sense, I know, but if you are sick, please do not come. Okay, I know that might make it tricky as far as assignments go. I will be recording every lecture on Zoom and I will post the lectures online. So I'm recording this right now. It'll just be the screen and my voice. But if you ever miss, that way you can watch the lecture on Canvas or you can watch the recording, bless you, on Canvas. Good timing. Right? I know, I'm so afraid to cough these days. I coughed at the grocery store and everyone stared at me. I'm like, I swear I was just thirsty, right? It's such a different world, right? But if you're sick, please don't come. Okay, email me, let me know. You can watch the recording online. If there was a homework due that day, you can still turn it in as long as you email it and turn it in before the class is over. But just make sure that you're not here, right? Whether it's COVID or you're just not feeling well, it's going to happen. I have 3 kids. I'm going to miss. I guarantee it'll happen. One of them will get sick or like have to stay home. So if it happens, it's okay. Just obviously make sure you're in communication with them. Don't copy or cheat. Give me all your beautiful own creative work. There's some stuff about Title IX and the smoking policy and things that are campus policies you can look over. I really want this to be a very like safe, inclusive class. Of all the classes, this one has a lot of, should we say, rich content in it. There's a lot of sensitive topics. There's a lot of things that tend to make people uncomfortable. Right, so let's try and have fun with the stuff in here. Let's make a nice environment, be respectful of each other. A couple of things that are included in that for me. Try not to talk over each other in class. There's not too many of you, like there's so many, it feels like so many, but it gets loud very quickly and it makes it hard for people to hear. Try and be here on time and plan to stay the whole time. Obviously, as we're getting used to our schedules, that might get a little disrupted, but try and be here right away and plan to stay the whole time. I don't mind phones. It cracks me up. I have colleagues that still take people's phones. I mean, unless I needed an upgrade, I don't know. I would never take your phone. Mine's here. It's on. It will always be on. I got a new Brady pop socket today. I was very excited, or yesterday. So I don't mind if your phone is on. I don't mind if it's out. If you need to send a text or look something up, do it. I'm not going to monitor your phone usage. Just try and keep it to a minimum so that you're paying attention. There might even be times where we use our phones, like with the Kahoot. We'll definitely use phones and such for that. We're like halfway there. Any other questions before we go to the next page? Okay. In terms of your grade, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 graded items in here. I'm big on attendance and participation. If you're healthy, be here. I want to see you. I want to interact with you. We'll do 10 random little 10-point activities. These might be a group activity, or maybe we watch a film and you fill something out with it. You might be drawing something, a preview of things to come, and it goes up on the wall. Human anatomy unit that we'll get to in a few weeks. So try and be here. If you miss these activities and it was like an in-class group thing, you won't be able to make it up. Okay, if it was a homework assignment, you can still submit that by email if you missed that class, or we'll exchange information with other people probably on Wednesday. You might reach out to a classmate so you can find that out as well. But try and be here as much as you can so that you can partake in those activities. There'll be 3 exams. I gave this a lot of thought over the summer, but we're going to take our exams online. Okay, I had a student last semester who came to me crying because they were taking an exam in person for the first time, and it was so stressful to them. And it just stuck with me. Exams are stressful. It's your grade. I know it means a lot to you. So what we'll be doing is on exam days, we'll actually, we won't meet, and you will have that time to take an exam on Canvas. What that means is you can use your notes, you can use your book. There's no reason you shouldn't do fantastically on the exams for that reason. But hopefully what that will do is lower your anxiety and give you a chance to be successful. So I don't know if I'll do that forever, but I'm doing it at least one more semester as we kind of ease back into normal. So for exams, we'll talk more about those when we get there, but you'll take 3 of them and they'll all be online. You'll do 2 homework assignments in here. These are often like little field trips. We'll talk about these more later, but you can go to a sex store and ask questions about a product you know nothing about. You can go get tested, you can go condom shopping, you can do an art project, read a book, right? We got excited on that one, right? There's so many things. I have a bunch of different options. I have people propose new ideas every semester. Someone went to a strip club. This was 2 years back. This is pre-COVID. Went to a strip club and like wrote about that experience and stereotypes related to it. So we'll talk about these, but you'll be doing 2 of them. They typically involve like an activity or field trip and then a short write-up. And they're meant to push you a little bit. If you're like, I would rather die than go to an adult like shop, like a sex store, I hope you pick that one because it will push you, right? That's my goal with those. You'll also do a short closing assignment at the end rather than a cumulative test. You'll do a little bit of like a reflection back on the semester. And those things will make up your grade. Okay, so again, kind of a heavy focus on being here. So be here as much as you can, as long as you're healthy. And the exams, the homework, and the closing assignment. If you have a memo with access, make sure you get that to me as soon as possible so I can get you all set up with whatever you need to be successful. You can give that to me today or Wednesday or just as soon as you have it. You could see the distribution for grades. Everything's just based off of points. And I'll show you Canvas in a moment, but I will be keeping track of your score. You can always know what your grade is at any time. I'm very on it with grades because my grade matters to me. I'm sure it matters to you. So you'll always be able to know what your score is at any given point during the semester. There's some stuff with like student tech support, which isn't as relevant to us, but it's there in case you need it. And on the last page, very exciting, flip over. There's some links to the student service syllabus, some important dates, and then you can see our calendar. And I will try my best to stick to this as best as I can. But there are some days that I know that I won't be here. I have like 1 or 2 planned absences. The one in October, I'm going to Disneyland. Probably shouldn't have told you that, but I'm going. I'm not going to lie. I have churros planned already. I'm ready to go. So I have a couple of days that I know I won't be here. There's a couple of holidays and flex days. So I've already kind of planned for those with our schedule. Obviously, if I miss, we'll adjust. We might have a day or 2 that ends up being virtual or a virtual guest speaker. We'll just kind of roll with it, right? As we've done for 2 years now, we'll just see what happens and we'll go with it as it comes along. But you can see the chapters that we'll cover, when the exam days are, which again will be on Canvas, when the assignments are due. We'll stick to this as close as possible. And again, things might change and we'll just roll with that if that happens. Are there any questions about anything on here? Anything that you're confused about or want to know more about? Anything else for now? One other thing, and this doesn't apply to us as much, but since we never know what's going to happen, I do use a lot of YouTube and Twitch in my online classes. And it's possible that I might end up doing that for this class as well at some point. Okay, so like our lecture videos, I often will post them on YouTube so that you can watch them easily. You don't have to go to like Zoom's website. You can watch it in a way that's very friendly for you to watch on your phone or whatever. And there's a possibility that as we get close to the first exam, I might do like a Twitch review session or something online if you want to join me for a live stream. You don't have to do this, but it might not be a bad idea to find me on both of these platforms. You could follow me on there. Please don't, like with Twitch, you can subscribe, but please don't ever pay for it. I send out an email if you wanted to subscribe so you don't have to get like ads and all that awful stuff. I sent you an email how to do that for free, but find me at least on these platforms and make sure that you've set your Canvas notifications so you get any announcement or email that I send out. So just a couple of kind of online things. I tend to use these. I don't know if they'll come up for us here, but obviously should we have to pivot at some point to online, which I really hope we don't have to do again, these would come into play quite a bit more. Okay, so ideally find me on these two. And again, you're welcome to do that now or later. Close this. Any questions? Feeling okay? Summer's feeling far away all of a sudden, isn't it? Like anyone else feeling that way? It feels like so long ago. And it's not even 9. Okay. Anyone been on our Canvas page yet? Okay, a few of you. So if you haven't, that's okay. I teach 7 classes. Here's us. So I do have a Canvas shell. Oh, I got tired of waiting for me. I have a Canvas page that I will use, and it looks just like this. I have to tell you, this drives me nuts that these don't line up. I've been trying to fix it for like 3 weeks and I can't make them line up evenly. It's driving me bananas. You probably didn't even notice, and it's all I see when I look at it. But this is our page. There's a little description, and then there's links to documents, how to get a hold of me, help and campus resources. I've already published a few things on here. We go to student. So announcements, I've sent out a few, like a reminder about today. The textbook information is on here. The syllabus is on here. The study guides for the exams are already there, the homework assignments. So I have a lot of things posted on here that might be helpful. How to set your Canvas notifications. I mentioned that a few minutes ago. Make sure you're getting my announcements and my emails, especially, with things being so unpredictable at times. It's really important to be getting those. If I ever have to cancel a class, that's how I'll let you know, right? I'll send you an announcement. You don't want to get up early and be here if you could have prevented that. I'll let you know as soon as I know. How to find me on Twitch and YouTube. If you click on that, I gave you some instructions on how to do that, how to find me on both of those places, and then images to show you how to do all that. Back. And then there's some technology help, how to find your grades. And then I will be posting the slides on here. So when we go through the lectures, I will be using PowerPoint, and I've already posted the first 2 sets of slides on there. I'll be posting the recordings of our class lectures on here. And if we have any like virtual guest speakers, they'll be there as well. So a couple of things are empty for now, but they'll fill in as we go along. You can also find your grade on here. So if at any point you want to see what your grade is, this is where you would find it. This is where you'll take the exams where it says quizzes. And turn in the assignments. So we will be using Canvas. Again, that app is really friendly and helpful. You might consider downloading it if you haven't already. All right. Questions, thoughts, anything for now? Hanging in there? Me too. I'm just kidding. All right. So let's take a break from me talking for a minute. We're gonna play some bingo. It's human sexuality bingo. And I kind of put this together. There's some stuff to kind of make you uncomfortable on day 1 right off the bat, right? That's my job, isn't it? A little bit. So what I want you to do, I'm gonna hand this out. Okay. So what I want you to do, I'm going to hand this out, and I want you to fill out line 1 for every box. And I will give you a little freebie here. If you are uncomfortable answering it, box number 1 is giving me a slang term for vagina. It's right there, right off the bat. If you're not comfortable answering it, you can write nothing. You can leave it blank, or you can write I don't know. If you don't know, that's totally fine. But if you are comfortable answering it, put it on. And spelling doesn't matter, right? It's okay to spell here. So I want you to just take a few minutes, answer box number 1 or line number 1 for each box, and then I'll tell you from there. Thank you. So I'll give you a few minutes, and again, to the best of your ability, I'm a Gemini. I always want to write 2 answers for everything. That's fine if that's you. Or again, you can write, I don't know, or sure. That's cool. Do a couple more minutes. People need another minute or 2. Anybody need another one? Yeah, take another minute. So as we're finishing that, so keep working if you're still filling that out. But what we'll do in a minute, probably you can guess, but what we'll do in a minute is you're gonna try and find people who wrote the same thing as you on their line number 1. And that's what line number 2 will be for. You write their name on line number 2. And you're gonna try and get a bingo, right? So either 5 across or down or diagonal. I give you free space in the middle. I used to let people only get 1 from each person, but since we're a little bit smaller group, you can get up to 2 boxes per person that you interact with. So if you go up to somebody and you have the same slang term, you can put their name on line number 2. And you can see if you have up to 2 of them. If you get a bingo, you can yell it out if you're really excited, or you can just come up to me and tell me. But we'll go until we get a handful of them. I brought some candy. It's never too early. It's past 9. It's easily candy time. So the first 8, 10 people, whoever get bingo, I have some candy for you. And if you don't want it, I'll eat it for you to help you out. It's fine. I've already had some. But what we'll do is we'll just I'll let you can start with the people around you, but you're probably going to have to get up and walk around a little bit so that your level of comfort. But let me know if you get a bingo, and I'll stop you in a little bit once we've had a few of them. All right. So good luck. Find some matches. And you're welcome to ask me as well if you want, but go ahead and get started.
You too.
Yes, of course. No, no. Yeah. What's that?
It's my first day here. Do you know the rest?
Yes, so men's restroom, they're right in the middle of the court. Okay.
That works. Never. I'm trying to think how it's not.
I used to spell it like that. That's how I used to. I mean, I spell it. I was, yeah, I felt like we're trying to, and no one, and then. I got bingo.
All right, I love it.
I almost got the bottom.
Perfect. If you want a piece of candy, grab one, and then if you leave, you can
That was hard.
go for a couple more minutes. Couple more minutes.
What? You've never heard anyone call it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Bingo. All right. You got that look of purpose here. I need it. until we get like one or two more fingers. All right, if you have bingo, go ahead and come up. Excellent. The last minute. Yeah, of course. All right. Unless you have it, yeah. Yes, go through. Get you through the day. My kids love them. If you're sad that you didn't eat candy, come visit me in my office. I always have food. In fact, come rescue me from it, because if it's there, I just eat it. So come say hi to me. I'll learn your names faster that way. I am not great at names. I'm going to be really honest with you. I will remember your faces. I'll see you and I'll smile at you, but I'm really bad at names, right? So bear with me. I think I have 350 students or something this semester alone. And then you add that to previous ones, right? I'm in the weeds right off the bat, right? So what I always try and do is I'm going to have you, this is going to be your first homework assignment, your first 10-point assignment. So we want to start off on the right foot, get those 10 points. It's an easy 10 points. I'm going to give you an index card. If you lose this, any index card is fine. And you're welcome to even write this as I'm talking right now. Yeah. Yeah, of course. I won't get in it, but yes, you're welcome to. So I'm going to give you a card. And you can format this however you would like. So I give you an example up here of how I've seen it done most of the time. But on the card, I want you to give me your name. So give me whatever name you're registered as. And if you prefer to go by a different name, feel free to write that on there. And when I take attendance, you can tell me that as well. I'll update it so that it is fixed in the system, at least on my end. And then I need a picture of you. Now this can be printed on regular paper, it can be black and white. Ideally, it's something somewhat recent. Baby pictures are cute, but they're not super helpful unless you look the same somehow. If you have other people, thank you, in the picture, that's totally fine. Just let me know which one is you, so I don't run the wrong face. But this will help me to learn your names. So your name, a picture of you. Here's me I went to see back when I was a Patriots fan. Now I'm a Bucks fan. It had to change. That was like an existential crisis for me. Brain switch teams. But picture me at a football game, and then give me your name, a photograph of yourself. If you find me on Twitch or YouTube, give me your name on there so I can try and connect those dots. If you don't, that's okay. It's not super relevant for us, but again, it could become that way if things change at some point. Give me something interesting about yourself, whatever you want that to be, right? Your favorite food, something that you enjoy doing, whatever it might be, anything is fine. And then why you're taking the class, right? For fun, you're interested in it, you need the units, it's for your major, whatever it might be. This will be due next class, right? So I will collect this, it's worth 10 points. Again, you wanna get those easy 10 points to start off. And if you lose this, any card will be fine, or even a folded piece of paper will be fine as well, okay? Before I have a few other things just to kind of close up it. Yeah. Yeah, it could be photo paper, just regular paper, black and white or color. If it's a complete barrier and you can't get one, you could try and draw me one. Mine would be shameful. I can't draw to save my life. So try and get a picture. It would definitely be more helpful for me. Okay? Yeah.
Are we presenting these or is
No.
it just
No, it's just for me. So I will hold on to them. And yeah, they're not excited. Unless you really want to, in which case I'm fine. Any other questions about this for now? Any other questions about the syllabus or anything that we've talked about today? Anything come to mind while you were competing for candy? So a few other things that I have written down. I didn't make you all introduce yourselves, right? I skipped on that. You're welcome. People hate that. I hate that too. But I really hope that as we go through this semester that you all feel comfortable talking, right? Please ask questions, share stories, especially in this class, questions and stories, right? I might regret saying that, but I probably not. But I think this is such a wonderful class for us all to learn from each other. I learn new and random things every time I teach this class, and I love that, right? And I hope that you do as well. So please feel free to ask questions as we go, participate. We'll do group work. I'll try and get you involved with each other and kind of make things more comfortable as much as we can. The way that I tend to approach this class and our lectures and so on, I will lecture with PowerPoint, as I mentioned. So starting on Wednesday, we'll start chapter 1. You probably want to take notes. We'll talk a little bit more about that on Wednesday. It's up to you, but I would recommend it. The PowerPoints, as I showed you, are on Canvas. So if you wanted to, you could print them and take notes on there, or you can at least just know they're there for you. You don't need to write down what's in the slides. I show a lot of video clips and songs and videos. There's a lot in pop culture related to this class. As a side note, if you ever have a great example, please share it with me. Email it to me. There's so many great ones. You're way more tapped into pop culture than I will ever be, unless it's on like a kid platform, in which case I might have you be. But if you ever see a great example of something in the media, email it to me. If I have time, I would be happy to show it. I'm really a very laid back person. I talk about food and football maybe more than I should. Sorry for that. Maybe that's endearing. Hopefully it's endearing and not annoying. But I do have high expectations. Okay, so when it comes to exams, you're going to need to study. I hope that you're reading. I hope that you're here, but I will never trick you. I want you all to do well. I will give you a study guide for every exam. I will set you up for success for every test you take. I'm here for you. And if you ever are confused or lost or need help, please come find me. Come meet with me, email me. I am here. As I said, there are going to be some topics or some chapters where maybe I don't cover them completely, and you'll be more in charge of reading them. So that's why it's so important to get that textbook as soon as you can. And if you have questions about, a format of the book that you find, feel free to email me. I will, as I said, be recording the lectures. I can't record the video clips because the video clips, it means I can't post it for you to be able to watch easily. But you will at least be able to hear everything and see the slides. So if you ever miss, please watch those. Those will help to make sure that you don't miss anything and that you stay up to date. Communicate with me. Again, if you miss because you're not feeling well or for whatever reason, make sure you're emailing and communicating with me. And I hope we have a really good semester. I have to say, like, as the anxiety wears off, I'm just excited that you're all here. Like, it's so nice to have some normalcy. And I just got invited to another fantasy football league as you were doing bingo. Like five. I can do 5 fantasy football. My partner is going to kill me, but I don't mind as long as I win, right? I won't get in trouble. I love the fall. So excited for the fall, right? Even though where was I? I was somewhere 2 days ago and they had Christmas stuff up. Like it's August. I'm not ready for that. I'm ready for Halloween, but not for Christmas. All right. So I have let's see, I have one more thing I want to do. I want to take attendance. And I'll take attendance this week, but after that, I'm just going to pass around a sign-in sheet. Okay, so I won't do that every day, but I obviously do need to make sure who is here and who isn't. And then I'll hang out after that for a little bit if you have any questions for me and you want to come check in. But if I say your name wrong, I'm so sorry. I have a name of Elisa. I've never had a good first day of school. Everybody always gets my name wrong. It's like Elsa now because of Frozen, or Elijah if they think I'm male, right? So if I mess up your name, please correct me, or if you like to go by something else, let me know. And again, we'll only do this like this week and maybe next week, and then that's it. Okay, so okay, here we go. Abigail, great. Abigail Abonton. Okay, there's 2. Okay, Jocelyn, great. Tyler, Grayson, right here. Abigail Armbruster. Okay, there. Okay. Robert, Andre, Andre. What? Andres, sorry. Yes. Is that you? Okay. See, I got one wrong. It was gonna happen. Caitlin. Great. Jesse. Jesse. Great. Thank you. Andrew.
Here.
Tony. Okay. Francis.
Yep.
Okay. Alyssa. By what? Riley. Thank you for letting me know. Sarah. Okay. You can go by anything you want. Great. Sam. Okay. Scarlett. Great. And if anyone tells you otherwise, as a side, I feel like a parent all of a sudden. Somebody tells you you can't choose your name. Right. Right. My daughter, Emma, I showed you a picture where she told one of her teachers that she likes to go by M, and it told her no. And I was all like, oh, really? Really? They told you no. Okay, let me go talk to that person. Right. Don't ever let anyone tell you can't choose your own name. That's ridiculous. Okay. AJ. Okay. Brianna. Anne. Cassandra. Aspen. Ryan. Alexander. Alexander Stoa. Caitlin. By Katie. Okay. Catherine. Catherine here. And Olivia. Okay, if I didn't call your name, I don't think we have a wait list because there's only 25 of us, which is a first, right? But again, it feels so full. I love it. If I didn't call your name, make sure you come check in with me. Between now and when I see you next, so between now and Wednesday, try and get your copy of the book, work on the index card, okay? Find me on YouTube and Twitch. And then also, if you wanted to download either of those apps, you might consider doing that as well. Kind of get everything in order. And then when I see you on Wednesday, we will start chapter 1. Again, the slides are already up for you on Canvas. So we'll get going on that right away. I think kind of a fun chapter. We start to set the stage a little bit. If you have any questions or you want to check in with me at all, I'll hang out. Otherwise, have a wonderful rest of your day. Good luck with your other classes. And I will see you all on Wednesday. No, you can keep it as a souvenir. Bye.
Maybe have a good
Yeah, you too. You too. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, what are these? Got a whole bunch of candles. All right. Did you have a question for me? Yeah, what's up? Okay.
I'm so happy for English.
English.
Or I mean psych.
Oh, okay, for
Sorry.
abnormal. Sex.
Yes.
Okay,
sorry.
okay, okay.
Um,
I'm like, uh-oh, that's gonna be
for
good.
intro to psych.
Okay, online.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I think I'm gonna purchase the wrong book because
For this one?
no, for psych.
Okay.
Because you said you put the link, but when I clicked on it, it was over $100. And
Oh, did you buy the text?
I
online?
might have done that.
Okay,
Is there
so
a way to fix that?
There should be. So if you go on the mandatory orientation lecture, right, which is on that homepage, on the very last page of that, there's an email and a phone number for like a book order help. If you call them, they should be able to help you fix that.
Okay.
Because yeah, you need the ebook since we're not meeting in person, and that'll give you access to exams and so on. So I would just give them a call today, or you can email them. There's 2 options, and see if they can fix it.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, I watched your video and I was like, I'm pretty sure I didn't.
Yeah,
do that
it's like
right.
$80 or something,
Yeah,
and it's the electronic book.
Thank you.
There isn't actually even a print book anymore. So yeah, make sure you give them a call or an email, and they should be able to help you with that.
Thank you.
Of course. Hi.
I know it's, let's start again. If you don't mind, can you pull up the QR code for Q?